I watched happen over the past 3 to 5 years as I've been focused on this digital transformation is the marketing budget for technology has become larger and larger and larger. And marketing's footprint in the world has become larger and larger and larger. This isn't the entire digital footprint, but you'll see the usual suspects here. Social media, paid, SEO, SEM, landing pages, email marketing, website, and mobile. This is where organizations are investing their money. So, I'm going to pause for 1 second and ask you a question. When was the last time you were in a project at your corporation that was relating to one of these things? If not, I'm going to tell you these meetings are happening on a daily basis. These projects are happening. These projects are disrupting the organization. Go digital or die. You don't believe me? Go talk to your friendly store manager at Payless. Oh, that's right, you can't. Talk to the folks at A&P, Kodak, Sears, OfficeMax. Yellow Cab, who 3 years before Uber ever came along, had an innovations program to build a cab hailing app and said, no one's ever going to use it. They'll just pick up the phone. Uber disrupted their business. We sit with people all the time who are looking to build new websites. More times than I care to mention, here's how the conversation starts. We need a new website. We just don't want to spend a lot of money. Can you imagine the digital world and your website is an afterthought? When someone visits your digital storefront, right? This is your digital storefront. This is the future. 10 years from now, there might not be a target. This is your target. When someone visits it, do you know why they're visiting, what they want to accomplish, what the most efficient way for them to accomplish it is, what the call to action is, and how to direct them into the most preferred path for you to drive revenue? What is a heuristic evaluation? Well, it's a usability study at a whole nother level of your website. Looking for 4 key areas: structure, navigation, content, and marketing and branding. Here are a couple of things that a heuristic analysis is going to reveal about your digital properties. Is it focused on the user and their task? Is it in consideration of function first? Is it designed for the common case? Are there instances where you're distracting users from their goals? Does it facilitate learning about your product or service? Does it deliver information? And is it designed for responsiveness? Last week, I went for almost 3 days without turning that on at all. I was busy running from meeting to meeting. I was on this for 3 days straight. So if your website is designed for that and not responsive on this, you missed me. Every 60 seconds, 3.3 million Facebook posts, 3.8 million, every 60 seconds, 3.8 million Google searches, 66,000 Instagram posts, 500,000 tweets, 1,400 new blog posts on WordPress. Average blog post, 300 words. The amount of content being created, 29 million WhatsApp messages, 500 hours of new content posted to YouTube. This is just content. That has nothing to do with the engagement that's happening behind the content. Massive amount of engagements. The content era was ushered in. We now live in the engagement era. What's the driving force behind engagement? Content. This content is now delivered via social media. Traditional media is converging with social media together to make this happen. One of the divisions at Y&L Consulting focuses exclusively on social, so we get to go visit with clients and talk about what they're doing with social. And I'm telling you today that very few people are leveraging it to its full potential. The average user spends 118 minutes per day. That might be surprising to you, but if you add up the amount of time you spend personally across all the social media channels, you'll find that it's true. What that has done, I'm going to tie it back, what that has done is it has changed customer expectations in a big way. All right? So research from J.D. Power says that 67% of consumers tap networks like Twitter and Facebook for customer service. When my 14-year-old gets locked out of his Xbox Live account, do you think he picks up the phone to call Xbox? You think he goes to their website? He tweets them. And within seconds, they tweet back and say, it's unlocked. This is his expectation of, so you run a company, the consumer of tomorrow's expectation is to interact with you via social media for whatever they need. 33%, so says Nielsen, of customers prefer to contact you. So you have built the gold standard contact center, and you're providing the best possible service. If you're not providing that exact same experience via social media channels, you're missing out on 33% of the consumer's expectations. The basic human need, the basic human motivation is to be connected. Sometime let's sit down. We'll play a little game called Boil It Down. You give me what you think is a human need, and I'm going to boil it down for you to the basic need to be connected. Why did digital take off the way it did? Why is social such a powerful force? Because it meets our need to be connected in a powerful and instantaneous way. And I believe that's a good thing, by the way. A lot of people are bemoaning this. But it's about proactive content, and it's about reactive. It's about posting good content. It's about listening and engaging to your consumers and prospective consumers, more importantly. SEO and SEM. So you talk about search engine optimization, and everybody says, oh, man, that's like a commodity now. It's just a thing. It's a WordPress plugin. What are you doing with SEO? I installed the WordPress plugin. I'm good. And I loaded my keywords. I'm good. No, SEO and SEM has continued to get more and more complex. Let's say that you take my advice and you say, you know what, we really need to reinvest in building our digital footprint. We're going to build a great website. We're going to really take social seriously. We're going to connect with our consumers digitally. Think about yourself, different paradigm, building a store and then not telling anybody how to find it. This is what people are doing. We go in and we say, hey, tell me about your SEO, SEM program. And we get blank stares more times than I care to tell you. In the content world, video is king. Everyone wants video. Embed video in your ads. A 30-second video can contain all the information from your entire homepage, or less. It better be less because the average American attention span has dropped from 8 seconds to 6 seconds. Thank you, Vine. Extensions increase ad traffic. You're going to pay for the ad one way or another. Add the extensions. You don't pay for those. Add the seller ratings, location, consumer ratings, Google+, site links, the phone number with a click to call. You're paying for the ad. Add the extensions. Get as much screen space on this device as you possibly can. In-stream and in-display. Two different approaches, okay? For an in-stream ad, you've got at least 5 free seconds of advertising. Use them well. I hate to watch the 5 free seconds before skip ad because I know the mechanics behind it. I know what it costs for these guys to produce a 15-second video, and the first 5 seconds don't tell me anything about the brand. It's a beautiful song and a swan flying over an ocean setting somewhere, and then I click skip ad, and I have no idea who it was. What an absolute waste. Use the 5 seconds. Pay-per-click in display. Again, it's only charged if the customer clicks to watch the video. But what's happening over here on the right? This is what marketers call an impression, and it is free, okay? Thousands of impressions each day for free. Even that, in-display ads cost less than in-stream ads, and they have some of the highest conversion rates. So if you're not involved in the conversations in your organization with regards to video marketing, you should be. Let's say you want to grow profitability, not just revenue. You want to grow profitability. So you've got some ideas. We can do a management bonus plan. We can give the sales associates incentives. We can install price controls, offer financing to our customers. We can shorten the time between our TV flights, advertising. We can do a newspaper insert. All of these things that we could do. You have 17 factors, 20 recipes for each factor. Do the math, that's 131,000 potential outcomes. You find that during your test, you had a 23% improvement for, say, these 4 ideas. Now you implement those 4 ideas, and you see sales percentage revenue increases over the previous year. So these are now tools that your marketing counterparts are leveraging today. They are doing this today. Data sciences is existing in both places, in marketing and in IT. Let's talk about John and John's love of shoes, okay? So the shoe company knows product, place, price, promotion. The generic marketing knowledge is the average customer buys online. They spend between $130 to $190 per pair of shoes. Their number one seller is the black shoe style 2256, lace-ups, loafers. 21% of users use the 20% off coupon. Man, marketing has known this stuff forever. Marketing's known this forever. This is nothing new. But you would be surprised the number of times customers come to us and say, build me a dashboard for marketing. And say, oh, what do you want on the dashboard? And they say, that's what I want on the dashboard. And we ask the question, what are you going to do with that? So what? Tell me what business decision you're going to make. What thing are you going to do different based on that data? Crickets. All right, let's take it a step forward. If we start to add some of this historical BI data that we've been collecting over the years, I can find out things like maybe the highest order volume comes from California, Chicago, New York, and Florida. Or that 22% of my consumers actually buy 2 pairs of shoes. Or that 72% actually spend under $190 per pair. That 67% buy black shoes and 33% buy brown shoes. That 60% use a credit card to pay. 20% use a debit card. This is useful data. Give me my dashboard now. Maybe. So what? What are you going to do? You know what states are selling data. You're going to reinvest in those states. Do you really know why? Can you answer that question? You still only have 2/3 of the story. You know about John. You know the shoes he buys, but you really don't know who he is. What if we add in third-party data? What if we go so far as to add social data? There's ways to do this, even given the privacy laws today. I can find out now that my average customer has an income between $55,000 and $125,000. Rank order, they're suburban customers. Maybe I thought they were city and metro, but city and metro are 2 and 3. My number 1 customer is a suburban customer. That changes everything as a marketer. Ages 28 to 62, they're upwardly mobile. They have a 26% email open rate. How are you going to reach them? If you know anything about email open rates, 26% would be huge. That's a signal for me. 14% respond to online ads, and stylish men's shoes is the number 1 keyword search. Now that dashboard, I'll take that all day. I can do something with that. I'm now down to a small group of people that I can put my finger on and market to them specifically. Let's say I add in some MBT data. I run a test in 4 states with 5 stylish messages, 5 beach casual messages, and 5 city messages. What am I doing with the data? I'm collecting and storing it. I run coupon, no coupon, and a buy one, get one. I try it through email based on what I learned in my previous step. And I do a direct mail catalog with a special offer insert, run it some certain dates. Now the data I've collected is actually useful because I'm getting closer and closer and closer to the profile of a single customer. Here's what I know now. In Southern California, number 1 is black loafers. Don't send a coupon. Don't give the 20% away. It doesn't drive sales lift. The stylish message number 5 was the most effective. It was 1 iteration of my marketing message. And I'm going catalog first. In Chicago, it's black lace-ups. I'm going to have to buy my consumer in Chicago with a 30% off coupon. My city message number 7 is most probably going to drive conversion. And I'm doing email and direct mail catalog. In New York, Florida, I won't belabor the point. You see where I'm going with this? This is all possible today. And you think, well, my company's not big enough to do this. Yeah, it is. That's the difference. That's the digital disruption. That's the 4th industrial revolution. That's what's coming. It is what I call the great equalizer. Digital is. I don't know who's shipping me the 5-pound bag of mealworms, but I have a feeling they're nowhere as big as Tractor Supply. And they've disrupted the entire market. They have access to tools and technology. They ran a sophisticated, pixel-based marketing campaign, something that only the biggest consumer brands could have done 5 years ago, and they got my business. It's one example of what's possible.